They're playing basketball.
All around the
We
world.
love that basketball.
To the beach,
They're
y'all.
playing basketball.
Let's go. All around the
We love
world.
that
Y'all know
basketball.
this is so
They're
that.
playing basketball.
To the beach, y'all.
Welcome back to the Six Pennies podcast.
Yeah.
Today we're getting nostalgic with the NBA. We're going to talk about best players on NBA franchises, transported through time onto today's teams. I saw this question on an article on SI.com, thought it was really fun. So we're going to take all the current NBA teams right now, let's say right after the trade deadline, and the GM gets to add any one player from its franchise's history, a player who's in their prime while they're on the team, and they can drop them in right now. How is that going to affect this year, the playoffs and the finals in particular? I just sent this question over to Albie probably 10 minutes ago, and we started listing some things out, so I thought it'd be pretty interesting. You ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, sounds good. Before we start that, I took a couple things into consideration here. First of all, the player has to be. We're looking at the players while they're in their prime on the particular team. So, for example, like the Wizards, if they chose MJ, they would get like old man MJ. So that's important. Also, I don't think it's fair if we duplicate a player, so it's not like the Cavs can get LeBron twice or something. And then it's important to think about like the fit for what the teams look like right now and who they're going to try to pick. So maybe it's not the all-time best player. Maybe it's the second best player who just fits better with this team. And then if you have somebody at the bottom of the rankings right now, maybe they just keep tanking. We'll see. So let's start with the Eastern Conference, and we're going to go down the list of the playoff teams right now. Who would you add onto the Cavs?
So the Cavs right now, they're in first place. They're actually kind of hitting a speed bump. I don't know why they're losing games like to the Pistons and whatnot, but for me, I think they're just like the perfect team built around LeBron for 3-point shooting. And so with that being said, I want Mark Price to be, on the weak side with Kyle Korver spotting up for threes.
So is Mark Price going to be your shooting guard, or is he your backup point behind Kyrie?
They would play together.
Oh wow! I have no idea who they would pick. I don't know if whoever they choose is going to add enough. If that's like Larry Nance or like Ilgauskas or something, Big Z. Like as we look at the rest of these teams, you'll see that everybody's going to add somebody pretty big, and I don't know if the Cavs are going to do enough to combat that.
I think they'll be fine because they have King James.
All right, so go to the Celtics now. The Celtics have a storied history. They're in the second seed right now. They have a few gaps on their team, and they didn't address them over the trade deadline. But now they get to add somebody. I would take Larry Bird, although they could kind of use a big man as well, right?
Yeah, Larry Legend, I mean, you can't really go wrong with him. Arguably a top 10 player of all time, so that's kind of cheating. But for me...
How's that cheating? This is the game.
I'm just saying it's cheating because of the nature of the Celtics and their storied history. Like, you could choose, 20 players, basically. But, for me, I like Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley in the backcourt. I think Larry Bird is too slow for today's game. I think the small forwards would just run all around him. So I just want someone to protect the paint with Horford, and I want Robert Parrish. So give me Parrish.
Oh, wow. So you're going to get an even slower guy. Come on. Robert Parrish, why didn't you get like KG or something?
KG, no.
Like 2008 KG Defensive Player of the Year. That's a pretty good one.
Was he even good back then?
Yeah, they won the championship. Come on. All right, let's keep going. The Wizards have jumped to third place, and they're doing great with Wall and Beal in the backcourt. Bogdanovich going crazy off the bench. Amazing if they could add C-Web, right?
Chris Webber would be really nice. Him and Bogdanovich would be an amazing 1-2 punch.
Yeah. What about the Raptors? They're in fourth right now. They made some moves at the deadline, so we're assuming they already made these moves, and now they need another guy. Who would you add?
Yeah, so for me, my initial thought was Vince Carter, Air Canada, but I think he does a lot of the same things that DeMar DeRozan does, and I think with Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, the perfect complement to them would be Tracy McGrady. And so I would want a young T-Mac. He was like an all-elite athlete defender. he wasn't worried about just dunking, and so that would be a perfect fit for the current day Raptors. What about you?
I think he'd be too young because I mean his last season he was starting to blossom, but it was only when he went to Orlando when he started tearing it up. I would still take Vince and like slot Vince in at the three and just have him wreck the defenses with DeRozan or Lowry. That'd be a pretty sick backcourt, or just 1-2-3 punch.
I don't know. Maybe I just love T Mac, young or old T Mac.
I mean, I love young and old Vince too. I just didn't like middle of the ground Vince. Okay, going on to the Hawks, who somehow are in fifth place. I don't know how that's even possible that they're still in fifth place, but their best player has to be Dominique. Is that right?
Yeah, like, are you surprised they're like too high in fifth place?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What's good about the Hawks right now?
I mean,
Dwight Howard.
The issue with them being in fifth is because teams 6 through 12 are just terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, with them right now, with Dwight Howard, the latter half of his career, I think they need a bona fide 30-point a game scorer, and Dominique in his prime was that, and so he would be a perfect fit.
You think the Hawks would like move up at all? I mean, these other guys just got Vince or T Mac and C Webb and KG or something.
I think Dominique Wilkins with that coach there, I think potentially, yeah, they could get into the top 4.
Interesting. Okay, let's go to number 6. We have the Pacers right now. Their best franchise player has got to be Reggie, right? But I don't think he's going to help them that much. I mean, they could use the shooting, but I think they're just too weak in general. Like you said, 6 through 12 is pretty bad.
Yeah, so I actually didn't want Reggie. I actually love Jalen Rose and his game.
Oh.
And I think Jalen Rose in his prime would have been a good fit for most teams. But I think the current day Pacers with Paul George, because he needs the ball in his hands, he likes to isolate on the wing. It kind of negates Jalen's values. So for me, I chose Reggie as well. I think he would fill in for Stuckey and Monte in that role and just hit threes.
Yeah. I don't know. Pacers
actually, maybe Rick Smits. Rick Smits with Miles Turner would be pretty good.
No, come on. Rick Smits? No, not in today's NBA. He's not good enough. If you're thinking of like, I don't know, somebody who is even better than that, then maybe, but he's just too big and slow nowadays. Pacers are trying to go like speed, pace, and space.
Yeah, and they're failing miserably.
Number 7 is the Pistons, who have been up and down a lot. Reggie Jackson, I think, has really not lived up to expectations. So I would bring Isaiah Thomas in and have him run the show. I think they would immediately get a lot better.
I don't know if I was gonna. I could choose Isaiah Thomas because I'd get so confused with the Isaiah Thomas in Boston. So then
they would play 2 versus 7. It'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Isaiah versus Isaiah.
Yeah, I'd be like, what's going on here? So for me, I chose Dennis Rodman. I think his versatility on defense would put this team like into the top 4 contention. He can guard like LeBron on the Cavs, but then also guard the Kyrie. Like Rodman prime was so underrated.
You just moved the Pistons in the top 4 contention. The Hawks are also in top 4 contention. So who's going down?
The Cavs would go down.
Oh, the Cavs are actually going to drop. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 8 right now is the most interesting one because that's the Bulls. Again, I'm not sure how they're still in 8. I thought they were going to drop off, but bring in prime Michael Jordan, 1993 Jordan or something, and now Jimmy Butler gets to be like a Scottie Pippen. Is that enough to get them past the Cavs in the first round? Is that enough to move them even further along, or are they still too weak around the edges?
I don't want to sound like a Jordan hater, but Jordan prime wasn't good enough to get to the finals before he got
himself.
Before he got Pippen. So when he got Pippen, which is like you said now would be Jimmy Butler, he would play that role. I think it would be just like the exact team they had that won 6 in a row or 6 out of 8 years.
Wow.
So I think they would like instantly vault into first place.
Come on.
And they would be like far and away the favorites of the Eastern Conference.
Do you think he would try to like strangle Rajon Rondo, or do you think they'd be like best friends? Those are the only 2 options, right?
They'll probably play like checkers because they're such like basketball geniuses that they can anticipate moves. Yeah, apparently Rajon Rondo is a a checkers genius. But anyways,
No, he's Connect Four.
I thought it was both games.
Oh, checkers too? Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
But I mean, we're talking about Michael frickin' Jordan Prime. Like, just that alone will get you top 2 seed, right?
I absolutely disagree because, well, first of all, remember
Man, you
this is
hate Jordan.
in my scenario. This came after the All Star break, so they're not going to jump, 6 seeds after the All Star break. That's point number one, and then two is just everybody just added a great player, like an outstanding player, right? So just adding Jordan here when they already traded away Taj Gibson and Dougie McBuckets, like, are they gonna? I don't think that's gonna be enough.
So they'll probably end up being the first 8 seed in NBA history to win the championship then.
All right. The more interesting one, even more interesting than this, is number 9. I think we'll probably stop at 9. The Heat right now are 9. They've been streaking. What if they added LeBron in his prime, like 2009 LeBron? Could they move into the 8th seed somehow? And then what if he played current day LeBron in the Cavs? LeBron versus LeBron.
I don't know if my brain can handle that, but did you see the story today coming out that the Cavs are actually, there's a report of the Cavs, current day Cavs, not in fantasy, but in reality, the Cavs are actually tanking because they don't want to play Miami as the 8th seed if they were to get to the 8th seed. And so
Who wrote that?
I don't know, but that's pretty silly to me.
That is big time conspiracy theory,
Yeah,
and it's completely
to
false.
answer your question, I think a prime D Wade actually with Dion Waiters right now would be amazing because a prime D Wade was so clutch. He did everything for the team. Yeah, give me a prime D Wade.
All right. Let's go to the West now. I mean, that's enough of the East. The rest of the teams aren't really going to do anything since you've already moved up everybody on this list a little bit. It's not like the bottom teams can move up anymore. The West, Warriors, most unfair team in the league. I don't know if in this scenario if KD gets hurt or not, but what if we added Wilt Chamberlain, young Wilt in his prime, to this team? It'd be so annoying, huh?
It would be really annoying. And he actually was a very, very elite defender, too. And that's exactly what they need, like a rim protector. It might be the perfect team. And I don't think you can even make this happen in, like, NBA 2K. So let's move on to the next team.
All right, well, the Spurs would be fun, too, because they're incredible right now. They're catching up to the Warriors. And if they added young Tim Duncan, like 2000 Tim Duncan or something, that defense would be insane.
Yeah, young Duncan, definitely. I agree with you there. I just want a young Robinson with a young Kawhi Leonard. I think they're basically the same players playing different positions. Yeah. I think that would be really fun to watch.
That would be like the most blocks and steals
yeah.
for one team. Speaking of blocks and steals, Hakeem on the Rockets.
Nice segue.
Unbelievable. Harden and Hakeem pick and roll, like a young Hakeem too, like thinking about the 1990 Hakeem or something. Or you could take the 92, 93 Hakeem where he's got more of the post moves. Either way, I don't know. The Rockets would be something to deal with for sure.
Yeah, Houston loves their like nicknames, like the 3Bs and Clutch City and stuff like that. So Harden and Hakeem, I can see a lot of happy hour celebrations
happy
there.
Hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4 right now is the Jazz, the streaking Jazz. They could add either Stockton or Malone to their team. Those are probably the only answers that make sense. I would probably put in Stockton, just because they've already got a few big men with Favors and Gobert. I don't think they need Malone as much. What about you?
I actually would pick Malone. I think Malone offensively plus Gobert defensively is an amazing 4-5 combination.
I don't know if they would do any. I don't think they would do enough damage though to move into the top 3. The Warriors, Spurs, Rockets still would be a little too much to handle.
Yeah, they wouldn't do anything. Period, because they've never done anything.
Wow, you hate the Jazz too? That's great.
Yeah, they're a terrible team.
Oh, that's great to hear. The Clippers, I also hate them, and I have no players that they could add that are good. The Clippers franchise is just bad. Who could they add that could do anything?
I would say a rookie Lamar Odom would be an awesome.
That's what they need.
Yeah,
actually.
an awesome small forward for that team. They'll have so much.
Really good. Another ball handler.
Yeah, and they'll have so much length too with Odom, Blake, and DeAndre. That'd be awesome.
They still suck. They're still the Clippers. Number 6 right now, the Thunder, the Oklahoma City Westbrooks. Who would you add there?
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say they're still the Seattle Supersonics. So
Okay.
I want Gary Payton and Russell Westbrook to be my backcourt.
Oh, that's like the most intense backcourt of all time, huh?
Yeah, who do you want?
I'd rather take Sean Kemp. Like, watch a Westbrook Kemp pick and roll all day. That'd be amazing.
Westbrook
I mean, their
wouldn't
best.
pass to him.
What's that?
Westbrook wouldn't even pass him though.
Oh, that's kind of true. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, their best player is probably KD, but there's no way that Westbrook would ever play with KD again. So.
Yeah, that'll be funny if KD comes back in this scenario because we've already seen a prime KD and a prime Westbrook last year.
Yeah. Okay. Next in the conference, number 7 is the Grizzlies. Their best player is probably Pau Gasol, but I don't think he fits at all with this team since they already have Zebo and Mark Gasol. But it would be fun having the brothers back together.
Yeah, they definitely need the Spanish Armada with the Gasol brothers. But would you take a prime Pau or a prime Marc Gasol?
I would take depends on the team. I think Marc Gasol does a lot more facilitating. His defense is a lot better, but then Pau, obviously in his prime with his great post-up game, brought the Lakers 2 championships. So I guess it just depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Number 8 is the Nuggets. They are a really fun team right now, like run and gun. They got Jokic in the middle. I would put in Melo there, even though I guess the fans probably hate him, but he would be great on that team, young Melo.
Young Melo is nice. I just don't think he's a winner, so I wouldn't pick Melo. I just keep picturing 1994 number 8 seed Denver Nuggets upsetting the Seattle Supersonics with Dikembe Mutombo just holding the ball on the floor. That is my guy. I want Dikembe in there because he can show the team how to win.
The Cookie Monster. He is definitely a winner. Love that guy. Okay, so let's go into just number 9 also on this one, or 9 and 10. The Blazers, who have been streaking a little bit, are stepping up. They'd be pretty fun if they added Bill Walton in his prime, MVP Bill Walton, who won them a championship. He'd be pretty amazing on the team with Lillard and McCollum.
Yeah, a lot of people forget how dominating Walton was for that year. I think it was like 78 or something, 77, something like that. But
yeah,
that MVP year was amazing, and his basketball IQ was through the roof. With that being said, though, I think Clyde the Glide Drexler is the epitome of today's small forward. So Damian Lillard, McCollum, and Drexler would be my 3 guys.
Nah, I don't think he's the right guy. Lillard and McCollum need the ball too much. I would rather have Walton passing to them off the high post. It'd be more fun.
What about a prime Sabonis?
Oh, man, well, prime Sabonis wasn't in the NBA yet. Prime Sabonis was still overseas.
Yeah,
otherwise,
we'll just time travel even more and go overseas.
No, man, that's not the game. One more team for you, the Mavericks. Who would you add right now, and would they make a difference?
Wait, I can't add a prime Dirk?
No, you can't add Dirk to Dirk. Like, you can't duplicate.
Then,
otherwise, the Cavs would have 2 LeBrons.
And the Heat would have a third LeBron.
Yeah, it would be 2 LeBrons versus the third LeBron in the first round.
For the Mavericks, it'd have to be a prime. I mean, I was gonna say Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd really didn't hit his prime until the Nets. So yeah. I'd say a prime Michael Finley with this team would be awesome.
That's tough, man. I don't think that's gonna move the needle enough.
That'll definitely get us. Yeah, that would get us to the lottery for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If that's the goal, then maybe
that is the goal.
All right. So, what do you think that's going to do to the full year chances of each team? You said the Cavs are going to drop a little. So you think the Bulls with MJ are going to the finals?
Yeah, this is just like a cluster for me because we're talking about prime LeBron in the same league as a prime Jordan, a prime Larry Bird. I mean, if we went to the Lakers, a prime Magic, a prime Wilt, like this is, I don't know how to fathom this, but you would have to expect like Michael Jordan to just rise up, right, and just rise above the cream of the crop, and it would be him. It would be his team somehow at the end of the day with the Bulls.
Wow, you love Michael Jordan.
He is the GOAT.
I love him too, but there's no way that they would take down like the Celtics with Bird. There's no way. Even the Cavs, like right now, just adding one piece, they might still be better than most of those teams in the East.
Since this is an ongoing debate, would you take a prime Jordan and Jimmy Butler today versus a prime Hakeem and James Harden?
Obviously, the second one, you know me.
Like, for sure?
Yeah, you can't ask me that question. If you
Okay.
ask like a random observer, then maybe it'd be different.
I
But,
think Harden would tear up Jordan.
well, I mean, is it a 2-on-2 game?
Yeah, 2-on-2.
Oh, well, then definitely I want the big man. I'll take Hakeem.
Yeah, Hakeem would just wreck
You
both of
destroy
those
them. You
guys.
can't do 2-on-2. I mean, it'd be more fun if we did another big 3 league or something draft. But all right, and then the West, is it still the Warriors? Annoyingly,
It's either the Warriors or the Spurs. I mean, a young Tim
Ugh.
Duncan with Kawhi is ridiculous.
I think the Rockets could beat the Spurs, but I think the Warriors still trump them all. So annoyed. Why do we do this?
Prime Duncan versus Prime Hakeem would be pretty fun to watch.
Can't believe we did this whole exercise and still end up with the Warriors winning it all. Unless the Bulls take them down in the finals, right?
Jordan would single-handedly beat Steph Curry
Wilt.
and Klay Thompson. Wilt, I mean, who do they have at center right now?
Exactly. That's the problem. That Robin Lopez versus Wilt.
That's a wash. I mean, I'll give it to Lopez.
Oh man. All right, that was fun. Well, thanks for joining the Six Pennies podcast once again. Please give us a like on Facebook at Six Pennies Podcast, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.